What's going on everyone, Ram here and welcome to another epic video and welcome to the first episode of Lightroom Mobile Masterclass series. This is a series where I teach you about Lightroom Mobile, each and every option step by step. This is not like other tutorials that you see on YouTube where they just teach you how you can edit your photos and how you can create looks inside Lightroom Mobile, but here I'll be taking you through each and every option available in Lightroom Mobile. So in today's video, I'll be teaching you guys how you can organize your images and files inside Lightroom Mobile, which might improve your workflow, which saves you a lot of time. So without further ado, let's go. So right before we jump into Lightroom Mobile and see how to organize your files, let me just teach you why you need to organize your files. Generally, organizing files is going to be the most important thing when it comes to photography and videography. Mainly when it comes to editing your photos and videos. Generally, if you save a particular file inside some particular folder, it's going to make your workflow much more efficient and also saves you a lot of time. That's why I save all of my files into a particular folder, and then when I just import it into Lightroom or any kind of editing software, I'll be doing some folder adjustments, which saves me a lot of time. So without further wasting, let's jump right into Lightroom Mobile and see how to organize the files and how you can import your images into Lightroom Mobile. So right now we are inside Lightroom Mobile and this is how the interface looks like once you install and open Lightroom Mobile. By the way, Lightroom Mobile is available for both Android and iOS, so you guys can check them out. I have provided a link in the description, or you guys can download directly from either Play Store or App Store available for you. Once you install Lightroom Mobile, this is how the interface looks like. You have 4 pages, namely Library, Shared, Learn and then Discover. Today in this video, we'll be taking a look at the features of Library page and how you can organize your images according to albums and folders. The other 3 pages will be covered in the later part of this series because these 3 guys are not important as library page, because we are going to deal all of the editing steps and organizing steps inside this library page. Inside the library page you have 3 default folders, namely All Photos, People and then Deleted. The All Photos folder contains all the images that you have imported inside Lightroom Mobile according to the date and time of import, just like this. And next comes up the People folder. The People folder is a premium feature where Lightroom Mobile automatically sorts all of your photos according to face detection technology. So if you guys are portrait photographers who are professionals, I highly recommend you guys to get the premium subscription of Lightroom Mobile, which costs you around $10 or 700 rupees in Indian money per month, which is obviously affordable, and also this makes your workflow a lot more better than what you are standing with right now. And finally comes the Deleted folder. The Deleted folder is the recycle bin of Lightroom Mobile. So if you guys have deleted anything unfortunately from any folder or album inside Lightroom, the images will be stored inside this folder and the photos are permanently deleted after 60 days from Lightroom Mobile, not from the device. So if you guys have edited something cinematic or epic and you have deleted the photos unfortunately, keep an eye inside the deleted folders. Give it a regular check once or twice a week, because once you miss all of those photos, I know what's going to happen. I don't need to say anything, you guys know what will happen. So now let's move on with the organization part. Inside Lightroom Mobile, images are organized according to folders and albums. Basically, an album is a collection of images and a folder is a collection of subfolders and albums. In order to create folders and albums inside Lightroom Mobile, click on the plus icon right here, and this asks you to create either an album or a folder. For this tutorial sake, I am going to create both a folder and an album so that you can know how you can create albums and folders and how to organize them according to your workflow. So let me click on album. Once you click on either album or a folder, it generally asks you to rename the folder or the album. You can rename it at the beginning itself, or I'll also be teaching you how you can rename a folder or an album after importing all of your images, and even after you edit them, how you can rename the folder or an album. So let me just rename it as tutorial album and then hit done. So we have created an album right here. Since I said I'll be creating both a folder and an album, let me create a folder by clicking the plus icon, and then let me click on folder, and I'm going to rename it as tutorial folder and hit done. So we have created a folder and an album inside Lightroom Mobile. Let me go inside the folder. So once you go inside a folder, you can create a subfolder and an album So if you click on the create album, it just creates an album. And if you guys want to have more subfolders into a folder, click on the plus icon present on the top right corner and you can click on folder. You can rename it, and I am going to rename it as subfolder and hit done. So we have created a subfolder right here, and we need to create an album just for the sake of organization. So let me click on album and let me just rename it as album itself. Hit done. So we have created both a subfolder and an album. You can simply go inside a subfolder and you can create albums according to your workflow. In order to rename an album or a folder inside Lightroom Mobile, simply click on the three dot icon present near the album or the folder, scroll down and click on rename, and this enables you to rename the folder or the album, and I am going to rename the album as tutorial album 1 and it has been renamed right here. Same thing is applicable for the folder. Click on the three dot icon and select rename, and you can simply rename the folder as however you want, and then I have renamed it as tutorial folder 1. So I have renamed my folder as well as my album. So now let's move on with how you can import images into an album. It may be an album that you have created inside the library page just like this, or it may be an album that you have created inside a folder or a subfolder just like this. But before we move on with that, let me just clarify that you can also import images into the all photos folder, which is available inside the library page. But this is only for small amount of images, let's say around 5 to 10 images. But if you guys are handling massive amount of images, let's say around 100 images, you need to go ahead and create albums, folders, subfolders and other kind of organization to import your images. Just because if you mess up with any kind of deletion, you can simply find those images inside Lightroom Mobile when you just organize them according to albums and folders. So now let's import images into an album by clicking on the plus icon present on the bottom right corner, and this asks you to import images from either device, all photos and files. The device is basically the device folders available on your device, and the all photos directs you to the all photos folder where you can just import images if you have, and you can select the photos that you want to import inside this particular album. And finally, if I just select files, it takes me to the images folder where I have all my folders present inside this recent tab, or what you say is kind of a different user interface. So you can select from these folders to just import your images. Now let me go ahead and click on device, and then you can simply go ahead and import the images that you want, and this imports your images according to the processing power. So once the images are imported, click on any image to go inside the develop tab, which is also called the edit tab. So be excited and pumped up for the next tutorial where I'll be teaching you guys about the light tab, which is right here, where we'll be basically taking a look at the exposure, contrast, highlight, shadows and the curves option present inside Lightroom Mobile. Let me go with some final conclusion and final thoughts. So that is pretty much it for wrapping up today's video. If you found this video more helpful, drop a like and comment below. And if you guys are new for the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. I guarantee you that you will not regret it. Follow me on Instagram. I have provided a link in the description, so kindly check it out. And I'll be meeting you guys in my next video.